Here we have with us Dr. David Close, for those of you who don't already recognize the Peace Man. He's given me permission to do a 5 and 5 interview for the George Mallis Library, and we will start with the first question. When did you become a VAMmer?
I first became interested in dye varieties, period, around 1993 when there was an article in Coin World describing a new double, I believe it was 1922 double dye. That became the VAM 6. What really got me going is later in the year there was another article in Coin World describing 1922D double dye. That became the VAM 4. And I believe it was 1925S double dye, which became the VAM 3. I went to a local coin shop, started looking, I found one. There's a 22D VAM 4, I found one. That got me hooked. So I started looking at peace dollars, started looking at is there anybody out there doing silver dollar dye varieties or double dyes. I came up with the Society of Silver Dollar Collectors. So I contacted Jeff Oxman, who was very kind and got me going. And that's the first time I heard the term VAM, for the acronym for Van Allen and Mallis. And I bought a VAM book. When I went through looking at it, there weren't very many listings at the time. There were a few dye breaks, a few others, which I went out, and I was able to find at least some of these. But that got me hooked, so I started looking for just raw, unattributed coins in peace dollars. I found a bunch of 22 double dyes, a few dye gouges, dye scrapes, dye breaks throughout the series, we began cataloging these, just holding on to them and cataloging them. Eventually, I started sending them in as once it came along well enough to realize that I needed to do that. Started sending them in and began getting new dye variety attributions, new VAM attributions for some of my coins. At one time, and I just cleaned out my inventory. It's just anything that I thought was worthwhile I sent to Van Allen, and he gave it a listing. My favorite listings are the ones he gave in red letter wow.
Wow.
All right, so anyway, and there were several of them like that. Several double dyes, over polished dyes, dye breaks, and there were several of them like that. At one time, I had, I believe, as high as 50% of all I had discovered, to my credit, 50% of all of the peace dollar VAMs. Now, since others become in peace dollars, that percentage has gone down. But I still have probably somewhere between a quarter and a third of them.
Sure. So the second question would have been, what was the cause of your becoming a VAMmer? But I believe you just, it's rolling along with it.
Well, let me back up. I started collecting coins when I was 6.
Sure. So
because of my grandfather mentoring me into collecting coins and getting some interest in coins. And then there's several others in the early 1960s. Several of my friends also were collecting coins at the time. And so that got going. But I really didn't care about dye varieties. I didn't know I needed to care about dye varieties.
At the time, of course.
At the time.
Sure.
So I went on, like many people do. Went to college, got professional school, and was still doing some collecting, but not very active, but still doing some collecting, keep my hand in it a little bit, until 1993 when that Coin World article came out.
Right.
And then, I guess, as they say, the rest is history.
And is ongoing history, as
ongoing. I have several more I need to send him when he's ready to begin accepting attribution, or begin accepting coins again.
Do you have a favorite VAM memory?
Probably my favorite VAM memory, and this occurred in the time it was important, in 2000, when it wasn't really clear who's going to win the election between George Bush and Al Gore. I went into a local coin shop, and they had probably 500 silver dollars. Two of those 500, two coins were 1878s. Both of those were long knocks. 2 out of 2 were long knocks. So that tells me there's a God in heaven who rules the affairs of men. So as far as my favorite VAM memory, favorite VAM story, that's it.
It is picking 2 78S long knocks.
2 out of 2 in a group. The 2 1878S They're in the group.
Both long nugs.
Both were long nugs.
I don't even know what the odds of that could be. Astronomical.
Exactly.
What is your favorite VAM?
I would have to say probably the 23D ponytail, VAM 1H ponytail.
Which JR put on his collection for this year.
My children named that.
Seriously?
I found the coin at a coin show. The dealer had noticed something was unusual about it. And I asked him, what do you want? He says, what do you want to pay? I gave him what I thought was a fair offer. He took it. And I took it home. So my children, a normal one and that one, I says, what would you call this coin? They said, a ponytail. That's how it got its name.
Wow. Wonderful. What advice do you have for VAMers?
I'd say be diligent. First of all, don't give up. Be diligent in studying, various sources, the VAM book, VAM World, the supplements as they come out, and learn what these coins are, and learn what I'll call evil mimics are, the very similar ones. Learn the die markers for these things, and perseverance. It's very important to have important sources. Learn your sources, whether it be that coin shows, local coin shops, internet sites, whatever. I'll say, do what you enjoy.
Right.
If you enjoy collecting double dies, then go for it. If you enjoy collecting die breaks, same thing. Die gouges, or you enjoy collecting them all. If you want to collect all of a single date, go for it. Personally, I'll put a plug for date study room, because I've done a few of these. Is you'll get, number one, you'll get much more knowledgeable about that date than anybody else is, but you may just get some new discoveries out of this,
Sure.
including you may get some very rare die marriages where obverse A was paired with reverse A, then you have a transition, then you have obverse B, reverse B. Well, some of those, the transition can be very rare.
Sure. Excellent.
But most importantly is do what you enjoy.
Thank you, sir, very much. I appreciate your time.
Yeah.